Hi, Kevin Douglas here. Playing vintage, Merfolk, keeping up the trend of winning the die roll. This might be like my sixth or seventh time in a row. Uh, this hand would be all right with one more land. It's possible that I could keep it on the back of like Force of Will and Metal Misstep with a Curse Catcher. Could be a little while before we draw some land though, but I think we're going to buy ourselves some time with the Metal Misstep and Force of Will and Curse Catcher. And it's really just one land away from being pretty good. So go ahead and run out Curse Catcher. There's a Mental Misstep. I think I'm going to trade a Mental Misstep for that. Because this kind of start, we really need to get some pressure going because we don't really have much else without another land. So this True Name Nemesis might get pitched to Force of Will. Mistress Factory, huh? So it looks like maybe it's Landstill? Standstill deck? I'm going to go ahead and counter that. Perfect. Always had it. So we could attack in here just in case to try to counter the Lord. Would at least get 1 damage in. But the payoff by not doing that is getting 2 damage in. So I think what we really need to worry about here is a moat. My guess is that they're going to have to play an island at some point. Within a second master down, we'll have Island Walk. I'm kind of hoping we can avoid seeing Landstill for one more turn. It looks like they don't have any more colored mana, but they do have Mistress Factory mana, which will be able to bump up to a 3/3 and trade us for a Lord. We could. So we could Time Walk here. I think I just play another Lord, send the Curse Catcher in. If they want to trade our Curse Catcher, I think that's fine. We're just kind of setting them behind on mana. And then this sets us up for a pretty nice Time Walk, especially if they decide to tap a bunch of mana. Alright, so it looks like they didn't draw what they needed to, so we'll go to sideboarding. So playing Landstill, honestly, I don't really have an answer to a resolved moat. Except for, I think I probably have 1 Echoing Truth in the main. Yeah, so I really just have 1 Echoing Truth in the main. There's really not much more that I could side here. So maybe a Ghost Quarter, try to keep them off white, though they probably run basic planes. So I think I'm just going to submit what I have. So we'll be on the draw game 2. We have a Mental Misstep. We do have Null Rod. Cavernous Soul seems good in the matchup. I'm going to go ahead and keep. It's a little bit like a mulligan to 6 because we're not going to need 2 of these Null Rods probably. They can't be pitched to Force of Will, which is kind of a bummer. But the rest of the hand, especially since we're on the draw, we're going to see a card, is shaping up to be pretty good. Let's lead off with Island. We'll have mana to pay for Mental Misstep. We'll probably have to cast into a Landstill here. Or Standstill. I keep saying Landstill. Yeah, not much we can do about that. So fortunately, I think we can lead Cavern of Souls. And at least if they draw, they're not going to be able to counter. And there's an Echoing Truth for a moat if we see one. So I think the plan now is to go Silvergill Adept. They're going to Wasteland probably the Cavern of Souls. Unless they're just like really unlucky and didn't draw like more land and they just need to hold on to it. But we did just find another Cavern of Souls with that Silvergill Adept, which is pretty nice. Looks like we have a lot of stuff to do before we run out these Null Rods. You know, maybe withdrawing several cards, they've got some more artifacts, mana in their hand. But right now, it doesn't look like these things are doing very much. So we'll probably just run out Master next turn. They do have the discard a card. I always love it when I see Standstill decks discarding cards. It just takes away a little bit of the advantage that they got. Yeah, so I'm going around this Cavern of Souls. Just run out our Lord. Just start applying pressure. Looks like they might find a white source if they have Swords to Plowshares. We will Mental Misstep that. Hopefully. So they've got one of their own. So we're still left with a bit of a board though. We'll still start pinging in. And then next turn we can Wasteland that Tundra. Maybe play Null Rod if we don't have anything better to do. And then just try to keep on keeping them off of Moat Mana. So they'll probably tap. They didn't tap for any mana, which is interesting. We'll go ahead and attack here. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to find another white source with that Scalding Tarn. And run out an Null Rod. It does shut off their factories from at least pumping themselves or other factories. So even though I don't have any artifact mana out, it's not like it's like a totally dead card. Looks like they're just going to pass. A little short on mana. I was hoping to draw on the Merfolk so I could cast the Silvergill Adept. What I'm going to do instead is just run out this Null Rod after attacking. So they're going to crack the Scalding Tarn, go and find another Tundra. We might be gaining 2 life here. Yep. What's interesting is we could Echoing Truth our own Silvergill Adept. That would let us cast our Silvergill Adept next turn. They're short on mana. I'd kind of hate to waste this Echoing Truth if they do have a moat, but they're a little far away just on 2 mana. Yes, this might seem kind of crazy, but I am going to... I think I'm gonna cast it. It might not be very smart. I'm probably gonna draw into more Merfolk, but might just run into a counter spell. I'm still not sure that it's the right thing to do, but it is gonna help me dig a little bit, especially next turn if we do find a Merfolk. We can cast 2 Silvergill Adepts, get a couple cards. So we'll see if our gamble pays off here. They did not find any more mana. All we found was a misstep, so unfortunately, unless we draw a Merfolk with this Silvergill Adept, then we're going to be stuck with one in our hand still. So just another mental misstep. So I think we'll just run out of Null Rod. Just in case they have like Fragmentize or something, just continue to keep them low on mana. So there's a Drain. Now they do have Moat mana. So if they found Moat, but I think they need 2 blue or 2 white for that. So they're not quite there yet, unless they drew a land. They do have a Jace. Fountain or Silvergill. They're not really going to want to do that. Although we are going to get to attack into Jace this turn. So I think what we really want to find is a Lord that lets us cast our Silvergill Adept and then pump our Silvergill to 3 to get Jace off the board. Probably see this Cavern go. So that kind of takes that line off now. So if we draw a Lord, I'm just going to try to get rid of this Jace. Although it will let us cast our Silvergill. They're not going to be able to -1. So I think we're going to cast the Silvergill while we can. And then there's the chance that we're going to draw a land and still be able to cast this Lord. So they force a will there. Kind of interesting. So we'll still swing at Jace. It is just buying them time. So it's a bit of a bummer. I'm really hoping to get this Lord resolved next turn. So they found another land. So there's a 2 CMC spell. Looks like it's a dig through time. That's unfortunate for us. So unless they found a Swords to Plowshares, they didn't plus Jace, so looks like we might be able to still get him off the battlefield next turn, even if the Lord doesn't resolve. We have Metal Misstep back up for a Swords to Plowshares. They could Force of Will it. So that's a good target for a Mental Misstep. Now we'll get Jace off the board. Play Curse Catcher first. That'll let us resolve the Lord. They probably don't have Mental Misstep, otherwise they would have used it to let their Ancestral resolve. And so now we just kind of have to pray that we don't see any sweepers. Like a Supreme Verdict. Curse Catcher won't counter that. Here's their 4th land. Unfortunately, Resolved Moat here is just game. Yeah, so there's Supreme Verdict. Not much we can do there, but hopefully they don't have much left in their hand. If we just start running a bunch of creatures together, maybe like a True Name, then we might not be like in a horrible spot. So the Factor is a bit of a bummer. It's going to trade 1-for-1 for our Lord. Now they've got a Mentor. So still seeing a Mentor game 2. It tells me maybe they're not running Moat. They're down to 2 cards. I'm not going to run my Lord into that Mentor, just in case they're able to activate Prowess. And next turn, hopefully start swinging with that Curse Catcher. And just kind of hope they don't have the card velocity to just go wild with that Mentor. They're definitely not stuck on mana anymore. So there's a Jace. And I think that's probably going to do it. That's going to let them find the cards they need to get this Monastery Mentor really going. And there's not much that we can do as Merfolk that's going to beat that. So they're down to 1 card. If we can find another Lord and have it resolved, we can at least get that Jace off the field. So we did not. I think we have to attack Jace. We're not going to be winning a race with Jace on the field. So if he doesn't +1 next turn, maybe he won't do too much damage. Or +2 next turn, I mean. But if I were my opponent, it seems like I'd probably +2. Depending on what's in their hand. Well, or do that. It's probably activate Factory, start swinging in. Yeah, so let's go ahead and concede there. That's going to be pretty rough to beat. We'll go to game 3. I think instead of null rods, I'm going to bring in dismembers. So it's a good way to handle a mentor. Also takes care of those factories. This is a good hand. I'm going to go ahead and keep here. Run out Curse Catcher. Next turn, Silver Gull Adept. Probably Revealing Lord. Hopefully find us another blue source. Black Lotus turn 1's not good for us. There's 3, so there's a mentor. I think we are going to want to, unless we draw a Dismember, we might just have to Ancestral Recall and try to find Dismember this next turn. So it's not ideal, maybe, but I think we're in a pretty bad spot with that turn 1 mentor. I don't think anybody runs Daze anymore, so I'm not going to run this Wasteland out just in case we find another blue source. I mean, we have Curse Catcher. See if they have another Mental Misstep or maybe even Force of Will. So we did not find a Dismember, and now they're going to tap with 2 tokens and the Mentor. That is pretty bad. Unfortunately, I mean, we could Phantasmal Image the Mentor, but we don't run enough spells to really make it worth it. Yeah, I think our one shot here is just to kind of outsize them and start being able to like profitably block. So we'll play Silver Gull Adept, Real Curse Catcher. Actually cancel, we'll go Curse Catcher first. I think I'm going to go Silver Gull Adept first, just in case I draw that Dismember. I mean, they're going to have 6 cards, but if they don't have a Force of Will, then we still might be able to nab it. So we did not find it. Yeah, so there's another Mentor token. I think we need this Curse Catcher because we're going to need it to block. And I think we're just hoping for next turn to go probably Lord and then Phantasmal Image to Lord. Give us a couple 3 toughness creatures to hopefully block some monks if they don't have like a really great turn. But they just might be able to put so much pressure on us this turn. They've already got 5 creatures attacking, and they just need to cast 2 spells. So if they find another land, if they're able to cantrip again, then we're in a pretty bad spot. Yeah, so they're polluted delta. They're gonna attack. I think I'm gonna try to block one of these monk tokens with a Silvergill Adept. If they don't attack with this mentor, it tells me they probably don't have another spell. But they do. Yeah, so we're down to 2. I don't, unless we draw our Echoing Truth and resolve it. We're in kind of a bad spot, so I'm just going to have to go Silvergill Adept, try to find the Echoing Truth. So we didn't find it, and they got 5 creatures. We're only going to have 3, so that is game. So, good games. Go ahead and concede there. Yeah, so kind of a bummer. Just got behind on cards. Turn 1 Mentor is just super hard to deal with, even with the Dismembers. In the board, we only had 3, so not seeing one of those, you know, after the turn 1 Mentor, there wasn't much that we could really do, I think.